Greetings. Here's what's ahead. Public participation or tokenism? All right, a closer look at Janesville's biggest redevelopment in decades and the growing debate over who really gets a voice in the process. This is your Janesville City Council follow-up. On August 11th, City Manager Kevin Lehner plans to introduce a proposal to create a new advisory board for the GM-JATCO redevelopment site. Sounds promising, a step toward more inclusive decision-making. But here's where it gets complicated. Are we really getting the advisory board Janesville deserves? Weeks ago, Councilmember Josh Erdman brought forward a full advisory board plan. Mission, vision, structure, built for transparency and accountability. But the council majority rejected it. Why? Too comprehensive, too complicated, too bold, and well, maybe too independent. So what's really at stake? Some council members felt Erdman's plan threatened their authority or questioned their leadership. Others, well, they simply didn't want to consider a proposal that came from outside their inner circle. The result, a missed opportunity to model authentic public engagement. Well, will we get tokenism or real input? So what must any credible advisory board include, in our opinion? Here are the 5 key principles. First, clearly defined advisory authority. It's not a decision-making organization, but a structured input. 2, transparent representative membership, not hand-picked insiders. 3, open meetings, live streamed, accessible, compliant with state law. 4, community accountability. That means public forums, surveys, and real feedback loops. 5, time-limited charter with goals, milestones, and a sunset review. The public is looking for bridges, not barriers. Erdman's proposal aimed to build these safeguards, but instead of support, it was treated like a threat. Now that's not leadership, that's resistance to transparency, and it raises a bigger concern. Who did we elect to lead policy? The city manager or the city council? Here are the choices: public input or public theater. In Janesville, if we want this project to be a model of community-centered development, it needs more than good intentions. It needs public structures with purpose, representation, and transparency. That's what Erdman's proposed, and that's what the public still deserves. So, Monday night's council meeting, what to watch? Monday night's meeting could be eye-opening, or it could be another example of what the public never gets to hear. One item to watch, the Janesville Jets. Here goes. Is there a new jet flight plan? One of our readers asked, what's the plan for the Jets in their new home? Hey, that's a great question. We'd really love to answer it, but here's the thing. No one's talking, and that's a concern. So the public is expected to jump from the old ice arena to the unknown. The Jets are moving into a $46 million Woodman Center, but the details, kind of fuzzy at best. Alcohol revenue, it's gone, now redirected to the management company. Dasher boards, Dasher boards had ads in the old arena. They've been reduced, possibly subject to sponsor pre-approval. Talk about decorating under committee, running a team with ad limits and no beer sales. Imagine being handed a state-of-the-art arena and told, don't touch anything. What do other cities do? How do similar teams in Stoughton or Sun Prairie manage? That's the kind of question council and the public should be asking. But as of now, even that feels off-limited. The Jets and the $40 million question. Well, until more answers come forward, we're kind of left with the same question our readers posed, just with more irony and a bunch fewer Dasher boards. How do other arenas like Sun Prairie or Stoughton navigate these challenges? That, to me, is a good question. And while the Jets are gearing up, So is the city for more borrowing. Catch your breath yet? Now the city eyes a second round of borrowing. With the Woodman Sports and Convention Center just months away from opening, the city's moving forward with another round of borrowing, this time $7.24 million in new debt. The council will consider the measure Monday night. The debt will be covered entirely by the city's general fund, and for the average Janesville homeowner, that means an extra $19.92 per year for 15 years. $7.2 million in debt. What's it for? The new debt supports the 2025 phase of the Woodman Sports and Convention Center build-out. While it's $400,000 less than expected, it still brings the total commitment close to the $47 million mark. Here's how the budget breaks down. $38.1 million construction, $3.3 million architecture and engineering, $1.44 million fundraising or furnishings and equipment, $3.86 million in contingency funds. So, let's follow the money. How is it all being paid for? Well, here's the funding stack. $15.3 million coming from the city, $15 million from state dollars, $9 million from private fundraising, $5 million from federal funds, plus smaller contributions from the schools, the Visitors Bureau, and the Jets themselves. Let's see. That's $35.3 million directly from taxpayers. And here's what's still missing. Where is the business plan? The city hasn't yet released a full business plan. We still don't know revenue projections, operational costs, staffing and oversight, programming details. Taxpayers have been told how much they'll pay, but not how the facility will operate. Is this a real, true public-private partnership or is it the great American mystery? In theory, this should be a transparent partnership. In practice, it seems to be kind of a public-private black box. We can only hope the private investors know more than the public who's footing the bill. Until then, residents are left connecting the dots. Another big loan, another blank page. So, let's now head down Jackson Street from City Hall to the Educational Services Center. We go from the so-called edge of night to the mundane, the school district roofing and cooling repairs. The school district of Janesville is facing its own infrastructure challenge. A combined $4.4 million is being spent on roof repairs and emergency cooling fixes across multiple schools. Some funds come from the 2024 referendum, others from Fund 46, a capital maintenance fund that's grown to $9.1 million since 2015. Here's the roof breakdown. Roof work is planned or underway at Franklin Middle School, Lincoln Elementary, Washington Elementary, Rock River Charter, Marshall Middle School, and Craig High School. Plus, Parker High's gym roof is getting a do-over. And now a cooling crisis at Craig. It seems Craig High's cooling system failed in May. Temporary chillers arrived on July 8th, and a permanent fix is expected by 2026. District officials will update the public soon on repair timelines and costs. So here we go again. Preventative planning versus political reality. Hypothetically speaking, this is exactly why preventative maintenance matters. If school districts don't carry the burden alone, it creates trouble. Until the state steps up with reliable funding, local taxpayers and students are left in the heat, as it were. A new feature, you ask and we tell. From the Reader's Corner, we publish our agenda. This is from John in Beloit. He asks, why don't local governments post agendas earlier? John, you're not wrong. Many agendas, like the Janesville Plan Commission, go public over the weekend, with meetings on Monday. That may meet the legal minimum, but it fails the test of public transparency, and that is a problem. Here's our modest proposal. A simple fix. Post all agendas 72 business hours before meetings. No excuses. The public deserves time to read, reflect, and respond. Decision makers need that same time. If transparency matters, prove it. Start with the agenda. Okay, folks, send us your questions, your feedback, suggestions, your wit, your wisdom. We want to learn from you on how we can improve and be of a greater service to this community. Well, follow newsmakers. It's the Spotlight on Community Voices. We're proud to highlight newsmakers as a public affairs series featuring 15-minute interviews with local leaders, artists, athletes, and change makers. This fall, a special focus on elected officials and their personal commitment to service. Well, here's how to watch and listen. You can catch Newsmakers Fridays at 9:30 a.m. on JATV, channel 994, or you can listen to us Fridays at 9:15 a.m. on WCLO Radio. Anytime on YouTube, search JATVMedia or Rock County Civics Academy. And by the way, you can always catch a cup of coffee if you need a place for a sip, a chat, and to reflect. Go to Havana Coffee on Milton Avenue. It proudly supports local journalism and community dialogue. Well, it's now time for our regular call to leadership. Change begins with somebody stepping up. That could be you. Volunteer. Apply to run for office. Apply to be on a board. If not you, who? If not now, when? Hypothetically speaking, what if transparency was the norm? What if civic engagement became Rock County's strength? Let's make that more than hypothetical. Stay connected, please. Visit us at rockcountycivicsacademy.org. Follow us on Facebook. Subscribe on YouTube. Join our newsletter at substack.com. Until next time, stay curious, stay engaged, and most importantly, stay connected. Have a great day.